Hello, very good morning to all. This is our third period when we will discuss on the communication process. We have already discussed about the types, concept, features, and importance of communication. Now we will go to the term how the communication takes place. There are basically five elements of each communication, and each element effectively contribute to make it more successful. The first element is speaker, the second element is listener, the third element is language or mode, fourth element is context, and fifth element is feedback or response. So feedback works as the key element in every communication process. When the feedback is negative, the communication discontinues, and the when the feedback is positive, the communication continues with the positive effect, with a proper chain. So here I have mentioned the communication process with the way of with the medium of this chart, where at one side we have sender, at another side we have receiver. Sender encodes the message and he sends that message to the receiver. Receiver decodes the message and tries to understand the meaning exactly intended by the sender. Linguists normally say that whatever we construct in our mind, that is called as encoding, and whatever is deconstruction done by the receiver is called as decoding. Encoding and decoding are two different processes which have been done by the medium of language, and uh, whether the receiver has understood or listener has understood or not, it is normally judged by the feedback. If the feedback is appropriate to the sender's action, then definitely it means that receiver has understood the point. If the feedback is not appropriate to the sender's intention, that means the receiver has not understood the points given by or sent by the sender. So therefore, feedback works as the most important part of each communication process. While communicating, we face different barriers. They are from different areas, like a physical barrier, mechanical barrier, psychological barrier, and barrier from language, that is linguistic barrier. We are going to discuss all the types of barrier in our next period, but let us understand the process properly. When the message is encoded normally by the sender, he prepares the message first in brain, and this preparing the message is done by the encoding encoding or preparing the sentences in the particular language, thinking in the particular language. If we want to develop our English language effectively, then we need to think in English. It means encoding should be done in English language. Again, uh, again, when the receiver decodes the message, that means he decodes by the knowledge which he has of that particular language. If he fails to understand whole message, he tries to get the proper meaning by certain familiar words which he know. It means that sometimes all the words are not familiar to the speaker, to the listener. That time he makes availability of other words and try to create his own assumptions on the basis of the words given. So when the receiver understands 80% of the sent message, that that communication is called as effective communication. In the next period, we will discuss different barriers of our communication. Thank you everyone. Goodbye.